Channel. My name is Brad, SuperCoach Pro. Today we are doing the round 4 SuperCoach team preview. Sorry for the late video. Thursday night game only gives you 1 hour to pick your side and pick your trades. So 5 minutes before the bounce, these trades were done. So hence no video. Daicos to Ridley. No need to explain why. Ridley's a fake primo. Daicos is owned by 62% of the competition, and he was on Lincoln McCarthy. And I just had a feeling he'd go nuts. And Brisbane generally don't kick very straight, so I thought he'd take a lot of kick-ins, and that was the right move because the week before it was wet, so I didn't want to bring him in, and I wanted to give Ridley one more chance, and he bought. So Phillips over Callahan for me has to be. I don't want to pick Roust, and if you quickly look into CBAs, go into this website, DFS Australia, Roust in here, 61 and 59. Now his Supercoach points, this is 61% off and 59% off. He's 48-point Supercoach and 55-point Supercoach for that many CBAs is a no-go for me. He's got the role, got a bit of job security until Perryman comes back in 3 or 4 weeks. Can't get any words right for the first 30 seconds. Did it again. Great. So this is why I don't do morning videos. And then you look at a player like Phillips, who's 19k more, thereabouts. Now he gets the CBAs. He's kicked out Greenwood out of the side. He wasn't taking too many CBAs himself, actually. Cunnington probably plays a little bit more forward. But in saying that, if you look at Phillips, 32% here and 74%. Phillips' game time didn't actually go down. So, and 74 was when Uniacke and Simpkin weren't in there, so I'm probably not expecting him to get that. But even with 32, he still scored a 65 in that round 1. So I don't expect it to be as high, but I just think he's probably in line somewhere. So let's say Uniacke's 1, Simpkins 2, Cunnington 3, maybe Power 4, and hopefully old mate's 5. So see how we go with that pick. If he scores 51, Phillips, he's going up a fair bit in price. And I just prefer Will Phillips. He's been a system a couple of years longer than Rouston. Rouston's last year's number 16 pick. So that's the head-to-head that a lot of people are considering. English for me over Grundy. I don't like the Grundy pick if you have the cash. Only if you don't have the cash, I understand it totally. But he's just owned by so much of this competition that I just feel like he's a necessity at this point. Nankervis is a bit of a pod as well. Like he's averaging 118. No Soldo on that side. Soldo won't come back into the side for the rest of the year, I don't reckon, as a Tigers man, to be honest with you. But I just don't love Grundy. I know a lot of people bring him in. I know he's got an easy fixture. I've considered it. I'm not going to lie, I have considered it. So he's got Bailey J. Williams, he's got Draper, then he's got Nank. Now, we saw what Draper did against Marshall. So maybe Grundy won't smash Draper, and Nank's a pretty good ruckman himself. So then he's got Goldstein, Witts. So he's probably back around here anyway. Is it really worth jumping on? Yeah, they've got an easy fixture, but they've got an easy fixture if you're a midfielder, but not necessarily if you're a ruckman. He's actually got pretty good ruckman to go against, apart from this West Coast game. I bet you if he wasn't playing West Coast, you wouldn't even consider him. Jared Witts is the other one. He's not a bad shout, if you prefer him because of his buy, but then he also has tougher ruckman. He's got Marshall, who would probably out-hit, but around the ground, Marshall should clean him up. And he's got Sean Darcy. He's got Goldstein, who's still pretty good. He's got Nank. Then he's got, he's probably got Gorn and Grundy. So similar sort of runs. But for me, I like English as a long-term solution. He'll probably beat Nank around the grounds. When Nank comes off, we're probably using Ryan in the ruck, so English would probably win some tap outs there. Then he versus Lysette, who's hopeless. Darcy, who'll smash around the ground because he's a lumbering ruckman. Then he versus Reeves, Flynn, Pitney. So I just prefer English's next few games. And Will Phillips, if he's on my bench in the midfield, it's whatever. I just think he'll generate enough cash. He has the scoring capability. he's got to keep Cunners not out the side, but Cunners forward and prove himself in that midfield, really. And he's also got to keep Greenwood out. So he's got to play for his life here. But job security is only question, but his scoring's not. You know, he scores 51 here, he goes 46K. I think he actually goes 70. So I reckon he's going to make 60K, no worries, this week. So that's my reason for picking him. He scored 65 off 68 minutes, which is crazy for that sort of time on ground. And then at 78, yes, he didn't have LDU and Simkin in that side, so he got a lot of CBAs, but he still scored a nice 78 off 86 minute game time, which is a little bit lower in time on ground because Rowson's is actually worse than that, I'm pretty sure. And he came in as a sub here anyway, so I just think he's a high impact player for the disposals he grabs. That's my reason for justifying him. Kick-ins also, if you want to have a look at kick-ins, McKenna, these are all updated at the end of the round. So McKenna worries me as a rookie because that's where a lot of his points are coming from, the kick-outs and a few marks around the ground. There are some sneaky players I've considered just based on kick-outs, but you want a well-rounded player. But same site has the CBAs, has the kick-outs, has the heat maps, etc., etc. So that's the side going into it. The last night's game was interesting. Daicos 151. He definitely doesn't love to get touched in the midfield. 2v1 situation, doesn't like going for a hard ball, so to speak. Call it what you want to call it. He just doesn't like a contest. Not to say he's a bad player at all. He's a very, very good player, especially for a second-year player. He's going to be fantastic for the Collingwood Football Club. 107 for Daicos, so he's a bit of a pod in the midfield. You could grab if you've got an underperforming Primo. Not too many other players in Collingwood side that's really relevant apart from Tom Mitchell, who's stuck it up 64 off 19 possessions. About time he did bad because he's owned by 10% of competition. That actually might help my ranking go up. So yeah, a little bit underwhelming from the Pies. Without a ruckman, it looks like they'll struggle. So you're almost gonna VC a ruckman against Collingwood because what's his name? Oscar McInerney couldn't get his hands on it, and Johnson's 190 something, 191 and 193 is way too short to be always competing, as athletic as he is. Now, the other concerning is Dunkley, 84. Don't go trading him out next week. Lockie Neal, 102. I still wouldn't sideways him. He'll come good at some point. He'll have a big game against Essendon or something crazy, and you'll be kicking yourself for getting rid of him. And a lot of people rolling a die. Wilmot, I'm probably backing Cowan if I was in this situation to try to do something that's North Melbourne. So a lot of people might get caught on D6 this week. Might not be great because we know Wilmot went 69 last week and people backed that, and I was considering it. And Ashcroft, 75. And he probably would have scored 80 if it wasn't for that supposed push in the back, which wasn't a push in the back. But yeah, it's whatever. So that's the side from last night. The two teams. If you don't like my opinion, that's fine. Don't come at me in the comments. I don't really care. I'm not one for arguments about anything, really. It's just a waste of time. So they're just opinions at the end of the day. And yeah, this is my side going into it. VCing Laird and captaining Bonds. I think if you got Clary, I'd be captaining him as well. Also, you could also VC English if you wanted to, but there's not too many options I can think of that I don't have who I'd be going for. Maybe VC Wits against Marshall. Took against St Kilda because St Kilda's midfield isn't fantastic, although they're still winning games. Mills. No, don't like anything from that game. Maybe a Parish or a what do you call it? Or Merritt against Giants there would be a VC or C, probably a C at that late stage. And any Melbourne player could go nuts against West Coast. They're at $10. That's crazy. And Stewart could be a sneaky captain option as well. So there's a few good options there. Maybe today's game, you look at Doherty. That could be a sneaky one for you. I've considered it, but a lot of people jumped off him anyway. So, yeah, 28 trades. It's just been about fixing my side and trying to get it right, and hopefully I don't have to make too many trades from here on out. So yeah, look, I'll leave the video there. I'll catch you on the next. If you haven't liked this video already, go give it a thumbs up. Sub to my channel. 80% of you aren't. I have more content for you on Monday after the game's finished, and probably do another video of SDS, of course, on the Tuesday or Wednesday, depending when we are both free at the same time. So I'll leave it there. Enjoy your Easter break. Don't do anything silly, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys.